Hello, how are you guys doing today?
Very good, thank you.
Great. Listen, I'm doing a documentary, independent documentary, on the subject of racial imagery in religion and the psychological effects that racial images might have upon the minds of children. Could I get a comment from you guys?
Sure.
Okay. What, first of all, could you give me your concept of what do you think I mean when I say racial imagery in religion?
Well, what I thought is that you may think about different people's cultures having their own imagery of their higher powers. And I guess when you have mixed religions and mixed ethnic groups together, you might find that certain higher powers are depicted in the non-traditional culture of the people that are in attendance there. Having thought about this a little bit, I kind of believe that you wouldn't have a Jesus appearing to the Chinese. So you have other deities for the Buddhists that came. You have Krishna in the Indian faith, or Muhammad in the Muslim faith, and Jesus in the Christian faith. And in the Native American faith, yet a whole different spirituality rather than a embodiment of a featured person of a look of some kind. In the old days, of course, people stayed amongst their area or stayed in their culture and tribe and didn't move about that much. To move out of your valley was a long distance, wherever you might have lived. So now with globalization, we're exposed to everybody's higher power and have different impressions. That's all I'm thinking about.
All right. And how about your comment?
Would you repeat the question?
Well, I'm going to add a little bit to the question
Okay.
now. Going up on, this is your husband? Yeah, going up on your husband's answer. If images, human imagery, was used as an object of worship in houses of religion, do you think that there might possibly be some type of psychological or mental conditions that might develop from a child or in a child's mind if that child worshipped a human image? What do you think might happen in the thinking of a child if they use to worship a human image as God in the flesh?
I've never thought about that, about the process, that how a child's mind might develop around that because of that. I'm gonna speak to more the reason for an image, and I believe that it is our lack of faith to be able to believe in something that's unseen that requires us to have a physical image of that representation of the one.
That's a very good answer.
Now I'm thinking when you mentioned that it's the dogma of humans that might create a psychological crisis in somebody's mind when they are conditioned to believe a certain image represents a certain kind of religious lifestyle. Now it could be for all good, right? As in loving, accepting, open, everyone is from, we're humans, we're a human race, rather than divided ethnically and religiously. If you take the man, the human spiritual leaders, and they show a picture and you grow up with this picture and there is negativity associated, let's say harmful philosophies that could influence the mind of a youth in that, because that's what they're growing up. No different than a parent perpetuating their own values on their children. You know, so if the parents live in a loving, supportive, accepting, and non-discriminatory family life, that would be the influence. But if the parents come up and teach criminality or hatred or racism, that's going to be the can be the adopted philosophy of a child. But you know, the beautiful thing about human life is that everybody has a choice at some point in their life. They may act on that choice, feel that it's not for them, and move on. And that's why we have people changing their faiths, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah.